So this is part 2 of our mini series on keys, and what we're going to talk about today is how to draw a keyboard, and then we're going to move on to talking about tones and semitones. So why do we want to draw a keyboard anyway? Well, quite often in music theory it's really helpful to be able to visualise what we're talking about. That makes it easier than just talking about abstract concepts. So that's why we're going to learn how to draw a keyboard. Even if we're not a keyboard player, the piano is really good because you can actually see all of the different notes, whereas on other instruments that's not always so easy. So that's why we're drawing a piano rather than a harp or some other instrument. I also need you to know, before we launch into this, what sharps and flats are. So if you don't already know what sharps and flats are, then there's another video that you can look at that I did a wee while ago. But assuming that you know what a sharp and a flat is, even if you don't know what it looks like on a piano, the next thing you need to know is that on the piano, the white keys are all of the sort of normal letters, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then the black notes are the sharps and flats. And a note that goes to the left of the white note has the same name as the white note, but with flat added onto it. So say you've got D, and then to the left of the D, you've got a little black note. That black note will be D flat. Or say, we'll go back to D again, to the right of that white note D, there'll be a black note, and that black note would be D sharp. Sometimes black notes will have more than one name. So, for example, the black note to the right of the white note F, we would call F sharp, but you could equally call that note G flat. That would be correct as well. So first of all, we draw a rectangle and then we make it stripy by dividing it into sections to form the white keys of the piano. Then in order to put the black keys of the piano on, we do shorter rectangles at the top, as you see in the picture. And the black keys come in groups. So you get 2 black ones, and then you get a gap, and then you get 3 black ones. And then you get a gap, and you get 2 black ones again, a gap, and then 3 black ones. C is found to the left of the 2 black keys. So we can add in all our C's onto the keyboard. Now, as you know, in the musical alphabet, we run from A to G, and then we start back at A again. So we get A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. So if you know where your C's are, then you can work backwards to put the B and the A in. And then from there, you should be able to fill in all of the letter names on the keyboard. Now, I also want to talk about semitones. So a semitone is really a distance between 2 notes, and it's the shortest distance that we can get on the piano. If we look at a C, then the distance between C and C sharp, which is the black note to the right of the C, is a semitone. And then the distance between that C sharp and the D next door would be another semitone. And again, the distance between D and D sharp, which is the black note to the right of D, would be a semitone. And then the distance between D sharp and E would also be a semitone. Now, what happens between E and F? Because that's interesting, because there's no black note there. Well, we know that the semitone is the shortest distance we can get, And here, that is the shortest distance we can get. Those two are next door to each other. So that is a semitone. Between E and F is a semitone. And equally, between B and C is a semitone as well. So the rule is that a semitone is the distance between a note on the piano and its closest neighbour, regardless of colour. So what about a tone? Well, a tone is two semitones. So if we go back to C, we know that C to C sharp, so the white note C to the black note that is to the right of it, is a semitone. And we know that that C sharp to the D is a semitone. So if we add those together, that makes a tone. So it means that the distance between C and D is a tone. So I would like you to try some examples and see if you can work these out for yourself. So the first one is, what is the distance between F and F sharp? So what is the distance between F and F sharp? And the answer is, that's a semitone. Okay, here's another one. What is the distance between C sharp and D sharp? So what is the distance between C sharp and D sharp? Now, C sharp to D would be a semitone, and then D to D sharp would be another semitone. So if you add two semitones together, you get a tone. So the distance between C sharp and D sharp is a tone. Here's another one. If you start on the note G and go up a semitone, what note do you come to? So if you start at the note G and you go up a semitone, what note do you come to? And the answer is G sharp or A flat. Both would be correct. And finally, if you start on the note E and you go up a tone, what note do you come to? So if you start on the note E and you go up a tone. So if you go E to F, that's a semitone, because remember there's no black note in between, and so E and F are next door neighbours. They're the closest neighbours you can get, so that's a semitone. So E to F is a semitone, and then F to F sharp would be another semitone. So the two semitones together make a tone. So the distance between E and F sharp is a tone.